Hi there, this is Tish Times with your networking and sales scoop, information to help you sell with unstoppable confidence. Today I want to talk to you about some things that you may be doing that are sabotaging your sales opportunities. I'm going to start by telling you a story about myself. As you know, I speak quite frequently. Obviously, I do things like this. However, there was a time in my life where speaking was my least best asset. It was definitely something I wasn't really good at, and let me tell you why. I remember being in 7th grade, sitting in Mr. Reese's class in science back in Terrace Hills in El Paso, Texas, and him giving me an assignment to read out loud in front of the class. And I remember speaking very, very softly, and also speaking very, very quickly because I wanted to hurry up and get through it. And Mr. Reese would not let me off the hook. He would say, my maiden name being Peoples, "Peoples, speak up!" And I would say, so I'd speak up, but I would still be speaking louder. And then he would say, "Peoples, slow down!" And he continued along that vein until I got to the point where, in order not to have to go through all of those constant doing it over and over and over again, I finally got to the point where I would speak up, I would speak clearly, and I would slow down just to get through Mr. Reese's class. And as painful as that was when I was growing up, he did me an amazing service, because what he did was he created an environment for me in my own mind that helped me to hear myself differently than I was hearing myself before. See, previously, I didn't think I had very much to say, so therefore let me speak softly so no one can hear me, and let me hurry up and get through it because nobody really cares about what I have to say anyway. Struggling with self-esteem and confidence issues as a young person really did a number on my head, on my mind, and so therefore I was doing these things without even realizing it. Well, fast forward in my sales career when I first started in the staffing industry many years ago, I recall when nerves would show up, those very same habits would begin to creep back in without me even realizing it. And so therefore, my tip for you today is to really pay attention to how you are speaking, because when you're speaking really quickly, in all honesty, you're coming across as someone who doesn't have much to say, who wants to hurry up and get through it, or someone who's trying to hide something. And in the sales profession, that's the last thing you want to do. You absolutely want to make sure that you're coming across as trustworthy and someone who wants to be heard and has something great to say. So pay attention to your tempo. Another thing you might want to be aware of is when you're speaking really quickly, however, your prospective client has a more slower tempo, you will very easily turn them off. And so having some tools in your pocket, like some assessments, even if you don't have an opportunity to give the assessment to your potential client, knowing that information really well will help you to know who you're dealing with and to know how you need to approach that prospective client. So things, I know that Bank has some great assessments, Taylor Protocols has some assessments. There are so many. I could go on and on and on, but find something that you could use in your back pocket to really understand who you're dealing with, how you should probably approach them, and believe it or not, it may not seem very important, but how you should pay attention to your tempo and the way that you're speaking, the language that you're using, how softly or how loudly you're speaking, because believe it or not, you may be sabotaging your sales efforts by those small things. If someone is turned off the moment you sit down to chat with them, you've already lost that opportunity. So you want to pay attention to that. So take that and apply it to your sales activities. If you have questions and you'd like to get more information, hit me up. You can go over to our Facebook page and join the Unstoppable Confidence Party Room and ask as many questions as you like there. The link will be there in the comments. Also, go over to tishtimes.com for more information on our Sales Academy, where we teach this type of thing and so much more all the time. Also, I'd love to hear your comments, so let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to hearing you and seeing you next time. Have a great day.